What's up with the YouTube? Back with another video. Today we're gonna be lifting my 2005 Silverado 2-wheel drive single cab. Right now we got 4-inch spindles, 2-inch maxtrac spring and arched uppers, and it just don't sit big enough. It ain't done yet either. I'm getting my paint match and everything done. I just need my bumper pieces and my grill pieces. But my angle's perfect with this setup right now, but I got a chrome FTS 8-inch lift, and I'm gonna stack that 2-inch spring with it, so we should be able to get a couple more inches on there. And we're probably, right now the back's got 2-inch drop shackles. We're probably gonna leave it just like that. But I'm trying to record as much as I can while I'm installing it, because there really ain't too many videos out there, only a couple of them, and they're not real detailed, so I'm gonna try and be as detailed as possible and then figure out what we gotta do. But this is it right now. I'm gonna take some measurements from the center of the wheel to the top of the fender before and after, so we can see exactly how much I get, because this ain't even a real lift that's on there. Like, I don't have cross members or nothing like that. So, which my angles are good and it rides good, but I just want to go taller and I want to do it the right way. But yeah, let me get it pulled in and get to work. So first what I'm gonna do is jack up on the bottom of this to get the tension off the spring, and then I'm gonna take the spindle bolts off, take the caliper off, take the bolts on the spindle, take the hub off, and then after that we'll drop that lower control arm, pull the spring out, pull the shock out, drop my sway bar, and undo my tie rod. I'll be forgetting to record, but we got the brake caliper off. It's these two bolts right here. We got tie rod off, sway bar disconnected, and then now I'm trying to get 1, 2, and another one on the opposite side. It's 3 spindle bolts to hold it to the hub. And then once those come off, we're gonna jack up under here, and we're gonna take this lower block joint bolt, get it off, get it separated, and then we'll get this top one off. So on these spindle bolts, that one right there is kind of a pain, because you're gonna be hitting all right there on that lower block joint. So I had to use one of these swivel sockets, and I had to use a shorter socket because these longer ones it was sticking out too far and it was rubbing right there. So that's kind of a pain. But once you get all those off, your hub will come off. And mine, with these 4-inch spindles that are already on there, it came with this spacer plate. I don't really know what it's for, but I don't know if it's gonna transfer over to the FTS spindle. So I have to see. And I found the PDF of the instructions for the FTS online, so I'll probably put that, if I remember, I'll put that link in the description in case y'all need it. Alright, I got everything out, springs out, spindles over here. Brakes tied up. I went ahead and did the other side off camera because it's the same thing, same process both ways. So now we gotta drop these bolts right here. Your lower control arm bolts, right there, on both sides. And those two mount holes is where this cross member mounts. This is the front one, that's the back one. We got lower control arms, both of them out. Got our hardware right there. Factory hardware you reuse to remount the lower control arms, and then the kit comes with bolts. to mount it to the frame. So. Lock washer, regular washer, your nut. It goes back side, back here. And I have seen one video of somebody installing one of these, and they had to kind of hollow out the hole right here, but luckily mine went right in. So you might have to do that. I didn't for some reason, but some people have, so just keep that in mind. Put your washer on first, then your lock washer, and then your nut. And like I said, I'm gonna link the instructions in the description. There's various torque specs on here. I know a lot of people don't like, or not that they don't like, but they just don't do torque. They don't use torque wrenches, but I use them on all my wheels, and I'm going to use them on this as well. So if you don't have a torque wrench, good one. But there it is. Big chrome dome. The rear cross member that goes on the other mounting bolts of the lowers. You want, if you'll have a short side and a long side, you want the short side right here to be facing the front of the truck. So it's basically gonna go straight up from there. They said on the instruction it says your rear cross member bolt should face the back of the car or truck, and your front cross member bolt should face the front. That's why I guess there's a reason for that. I don't know. I'm just doing what they say. So no problem. Flat washer, lock washer, nut. So like I said, short side facing the front. Your back cross member bolts should be facing that way. Your front cross member bolt should be facing forward that way. And then flat washer, and then lock washer, and then nut. And yeah, so let's see what I gotta do next. Probably spring spacer, and then spindle, and start putting everything back together. So I got the spring spacer, your mounting bolt. It mounts where the factory shop. Boy, that's a, I don't even know.
Where you not lying, bitch?
Hold on, let me take care of that. Alright, we good now. Like I was saying, your mounting bolt for your spring spacer, you got your bolt and the flat washer. It goes where your factory shop usually mounts at. And then your spring spacer goes up in there. And then you'll have your lock washer. I mean your flat washer, your lock washer, and then your nut. So. And also in the instruction it says to remove your bump stop. So you just gotta, don't mind on that dirt. You just gotta remove that nut right there. I think the bump stop should come off. Alright, so now the spring spacer's in there. You want to make sure it's centered up how you want it. And here's what I did is I took this extension. I went ahead and put this socket in through the back side. And then, hold on, stick your extension up through that hole into the socket. And then you can get up in there and you can tighten that bolt that's in there, right there. And then just put your wrench on the top side, on the outside up there. And it don't have no torque spec like I thought it did. The cross members, they have a torque spec, but the spring spacer don't. So I'm just tighten it down as good as I can. Like I said, there's a lock washer on there. So mainly once that lock washer's compressed down and stuff, call it good. I basically just tighten it as tight as I can get. And that's mine's a 5/16 bolt, but on the instructions it says 5/8, so I don't know. But either way. But like I said, you're gonna want to make sure your spacer's centered the way you want it. So that right there, and just watch it as you tighten it because it'll want to turn. So just make sure it stays straight. Oh. That wasn't even supposed to happen, man. It just pissed me off. That's alright. Part of life.
Don't worry about it. It happens. Part of the life. Know what I mean? It's cool.
Alright, so now we got rear cross member in, front cross member in, and we got our control arms bolted back up. So, and then once you do that, these, it says tighten to factory spec, so I'm gonna do 100 foot-pounds because these on the instructions it says tighten these to 100 foot-pounds. So I figured, you know, might as well do both of them at 100. So we're gonna tighten those down, and then after that, it says we can start putting our spring in, because we already got spring spacer in. 100 foot-pounds. So we're gonna go ahead. Should have done that from the get-go, Jane. Alright, sir. What we had to do, well, y'all seen the video, but we put a spring compressor here and one there to compress it, and as we compressed it, we jacked up on the spindle. And as we did that, we finally got enough threads of this working through, so we tightened that down. And where we're jacking up at, we had to get a bottle jack because it was small. We were jacking up right here because all these other spots are like round and smooth, so we didn't want the jack to slip out from under it. So now, all that's down, we torqued this to 74 foot-pounds, and this one to 94 foot-pounds. And then we'll do this one, this tie rod to 74 foot-pounds. And then I gotta put the shock in, which the shock relocates to that hole right there, basically the bottom side of this spring spacer. And then it bolts in down there. And after that, we just got hubs and the sway bar relocation bracket. And then I think that's it. Those hubs go there. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that's all. That's how the brackets are gonna sit. You gotta flip your sway bar though, but I haven't done that part yet. And when you're doing it, don't forget to run your brake line back through here in between your spring and your spindle before you close this up together, because now instead of taking all that apart, because it was too hard to get together, so I ain't gonna take it apart. I'm gonna just have to disconnect it from the caliper and then run it and then bleed my brakes and all that stuff. And on the shock, if y'all didn't know, this goes on the bottom side of the shock mount, and then this goes on the top side, like that. And your shock, the plate will sit in between here. This sandwich is in between it, basically. There's a indentation for your ABS line, so you know which way it goes. Alright, so this is the next day. I got most of the stuff done yesterday as far as like installing the lift. We got spring spacer in, 2-inch lift spring, the spindles on there, jaw brackets. All I got left is I gotta do a sway bar relocation thing. And then just start bolting everything back together. So wheel bearing back in, caliper back on, tie rods. And I am, the STS comes with these big tie rods. So, and then once we get all that done, everything should be done on it. So I know some people don't torque their stuff, but one thing about me is I'm gonna torque my stuff. I ain't gonna lie to you. It ain't no reason not to unless you're just lazy. Alright, so now I'm doing the sway bar. So you're not gonna use your factory sway bar hole back here. You're gonna use this hole up here, and it's got a big cutout on the bottom already. So what you do, you take the little elbow piece, long side goes up in there. And then the bolt threads in up top. So you're gonna take a sway bar. You got your metal washer here, bushing, and then the space between it. That's where the sway bar goes, and another bushing and another washer. So you can put this in the top, like that, and then put this one up, sandwich that in, and then thread this on. And then once that's on there, you got this bolt that connects the two pieces together. And you want your bolt head facing the front of the truck, so this way forward. And it goes in. And once you get everything tightened up on the sway bar, it'll all line up good. But for now, I'm just snugging everything up, getting it mocked up basically. And then for the actual sway bar, it says in the instructions, once you get these on there, these are supposed to point, they're supposed to push the sway bar forward. So you want this longer section pointing towards the front of the truck on both sides. And then once you do that, you have to, basically this side of the sway bar has to go to that side. So you take the sway bar and you turn it like this. And then once you turn it, you roll it to where its arms stick out over here and over there. And then everything lines up good. So you can see you already got that side done. And now I just gotta snug up all these bolts there and there. And then everything else should be done. Alright y'all, so I finally got the lift and everything on the truck. It's been on there for about 3 weeks now. I'm just now getting around to making the video on the end of it and everything. And I did go ahead and put the rear blocks in the truck just to get some pictures of it leveled. So I'm gonna have both videos of the truck in here. I'm gonna have it leveled and have it with the no blocks and 2-inch drop shackles. So right now it's leveled. It's on there right here. It's the chrome 8-inch FTS on 2-wheel drive 1500. In the video, you can see I started to try and stack the 2-inch maxtrac spring, but I ran into some problems, so I ended up doing stock coils, arched uppers. I got the FTS spacer, and then of course the chrome FTS cross member and the spindles and all that stuff. So it turned out pretty good. You can, if you wanted to, you could do the stack the maxtrac spring, but one, it ain't gonna ride good at all. Like, it's gonna ride like a tank. And if you have these uppers, this part of the upper right here where my finger is was hidden on this spring, and I'll put some pictures in there whenever I had it in there. And you can get away from that by getting the bolt-in uppers with a ball joint spacer, and then your angles will be a little bit better, but it won't hold the alignment. Your camber bolts won't be able to adjust enough for the 2-inch ball joint spacer. So I don't know, I'm not a big fan of stretching out lifts and just having it ride real bad and just being sketchy all around, so I didn't even do it. And it's a 2-wheel drive, you can only go so big anyways. So the back, it still got the 2-inch drop shackles, but I've got the 8-inch blocks back there, and I've got the FTS rear shocks and everything. So I'm pretty happy with it. Like I said, it's a 2-wheel drive, so I mean, unless you're willing to have bad angles and just ride on a sketchy lift, then this is about as big as you can go. It's got the sway bar relocation brackets. I got my paint match done. I got my billet inserts. I did the fog light conversion. All my paint match on my mirrors, door handles. The whole truck needs painted, I ain't gonna lie, but we'll get there one day. I got this paint match, roll pan paint match with the hidden hitch behind it. I got the backup camera and door handle. But yeah, this is it. And I'm on 26 by 14s on 33 by 1450 Venoms. So 33 1450s. You can see it rubs just a tiny bit. If it'll focus, you can see some of the paint's going right there. Just a little bit, nothing crazy though. So like I said, I'm gonna get some more videos whenever I pull the blocks back out, because that's the way I want it, is without blocks. Really, I just leveled it to be able to get some pictures of it and post it on Facebook for sale, because some people see the squat and they'll just keep on scrolling, because you know how they be hating and stuff. So, but yeah, this is it. And I'll probably do a whole tour of the truck one of these days and post it on YouTube of all the little odds and ends stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and start it for y'all though. 1.5-inch rear spacers and 1.5-inch front spacers, and you can see it's pretty even. So with the spindle pushing the wheel out already, that's why I only did 1.5 up front to make it even with the back. It's got a stage 4 BTR cam, fully built 5.3, lifters, cam, heads, intake, drop-in forged pistons. Basically all you can do to a 5.3 besides boosting it. And I've got long tubes. Speed engineering, long tube, speed engineering, whole exhaust, dual in, dual out mufflers and everything. So I'll do a more in-depth review of the truck one of these days. But this is it. And then I'll pull them blocks out. I'm gonna try and record. Me pulling the blocks out, just so that y'all know how they go in and how they come out. But it really ain't nothing to it. It's just U-bolts.